Okay.
Hi, I'm Nancy Amidon from Amidon Quiltworks, and today I'm going to show you how I use the Clover Bias Maker to make my stems for my applique. Today I'll be using the 1/4 inch Clover Bias Maker, and the fabric that I use will be cut into 1/2 inch strips. I do cut them on the bias so that I can turn them when I'm getting them ready. Once I've cut my strips, I take them and place them on my mat. Then I take spray starch and I'm going to lightly starch all the strips. I toss them to give an even dampness throughout the pieces. I'll be taking one out. The rest of them I am going to put in a plastic bag. This helps to keep them moist while I'm working with my strips. Then I take my Clover Bias Maker, and you're going to lay the fabric out in the direction that you will be pulling the bias maker. Lay it down flat and slide your first bit of fabric into the tip. I will turn it over to get my fabric started and use my stiletto and pull the fabric all the way through till you have some fabric showing. Now I'm ready to start turning the edges. For that, I'm going to take my iron and lay it very close to the tip of the bias maker. Pull the bias maker and then push it back in towards my iron. Every time you pull on the bias maker, it actually pulls the bias out. By pushing it back towards the iron, I'm putting that bias back into the piece. So I'm going to pull it and then push it back in, pull it and push it back in, all the while putting my iron right on the fabric so it will dry that starch, keeping the edges turned under nice and flat. I'm going to keep going all the way through the very end of this piece. Once the entire piece is done, it'll be nice and flat, edges turned under. Then you'll be ready to have your piece and start turning your edges. Because it is a bias and there's starch still on it, I can take a tip and then just slowly start turning it and pulling it. As I pull it, it creates that nice shape, and the starch keeps the edges and the shape in the direction that I pressed it. This is how I use the Clover Bias Maker, and thank you for watching my video.